Recording in progress.
Hey everybody, happy Monday.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hey, Chris.
Well, cool. All right, imagine we'll have some people come back in a little bit, so we'll get things started. Um, this week we'll be going through the milestones, just kind of checking on where everybody is, from where we were 2 weeks ago. Plenty of time to kind of run through things, so hopefully you guys have been able to keep up and just kind of keep at it, keep that momentum going. So we'll run through it. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna share my screen. Cool. We'll start with if Alex M is here. No, Alex. All right. It's actually week 8. Go through these. No, Alex. Busola.
I'm here, Chris.
Hey,
Hi, how you doing?
they're good.
Yeah, thanks so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man.
Of course.
So I discovered something so crucial on Friday night. I tested the journey from TikTok. I went into TikTok and I went to my profile on TikTok and then went from there to my website straight from TikTok. and then clicked on the do the survey and realized something was broken in there. So the actual journey from TikTok and then trying to do the survey wasn't possible. There was a message from Google saying can't access Google account. So I realized all the videos I've been sending, people coming to my website from TikTok, none of them were able to access the survey form. So
Okay, is that because you didn't make it public?
no, I think it was a TikTok issue, and I actually fixed it that Friday night. I made it on in Bubble. I kind of selected rather than just say show survey pop up. I did something else. I said show an external website. So
Okay,
and then I got the link for the Google form and made it the URL in there, and that solved the problem.
okay.
So I then did a whole bunch of videos over the weekend. I also paid like a little bit of money to promote one of the videos, which got like 6,500 views. So I
Okay.
got a lot of views. I got a lot of people go to the profile. I just checked the survey form response before we came online. So there's still no nobody still completed the survey form, but then I'm realizing this has just been a couple of days. So
Hmm.
I intend to continue doing that, and also testing various videos. I've got 3 different categories out there right now. The rent trap, financial anxiety, and also sending people straight to the main landing page as well.
Are you
So
testing other landing pages or are they all going to the same link?
no, I'm testing other landing pages. I'm testing 3 different landing pages right now.
Okay.
I have a couple more to test, but I'm testing 3 different landing pages right now. So I'm sending them. So I'm changing the bio. I'm changing the bio. I'm changing the link in the bio like every couple of days. Sending them to
I
different
see.
landing pages. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm thinking also, um,
Are you tracking the clicks on the link?
yeah, using Google Analytics.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I am.
Okay, so you can track all the way from you can track from the link in bio to the landing page, and you're tracking the landing page to the Google form.
That's what I need to figure out how to track from the landing page to the Google form. I need to figure
Okay.
out how to do that. Yeah. But I will look at that today. That's one thing I'm not tracking. But I'm tracking all the way to the landing page, to each of the landing pages, whether it's the main page or the other
You
subdomain.
could, I mean, the shortcut is you could probably use like a bit.ly link or like some tracking link, and then just plug in, copy paste the Google URL, the Google form URL into there.
Straight to go to the Google URL from
Yeah, like
TikTok.
yeah, I mean, if it might be faster than trying to figure it out on uh on Google Analytics, but yeah, just there's tracking link, like there's short URLs, right? Like that you can use.
Yeah, I can do that. But what I'm thinking, that takes away from somebody coming to the website and then actually seeing what we're trying to do. Because they're going to the survey form now, right?
Yeah, yeah, but I'm saying the button from the landing page to the survey form,
Oh, okay, okay.
right? Like it's on the right now from the landing page, they're going onto another, they have to click another CTA, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so you're trying to figure out how to track that, correct?
How to track that, correct? Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So
Okay.
tracking from the landing page to the form.
Yeah.
You're okay, so that's what I'm suggesting is that that's a possible option, but that's what I think you need to figure out is track from landing page to form.
Okay. Okay. I'll take
Does
a
that
look
make
at that
sense? And
today.
you should actually be tracking all this stuff in like a spreadsheet that you can share so you can
Yeah.
know like I've solved for I'm getting 600 some views, right? So I'm getting the videos working, and the link in the bio is working because I'm getting 100 clicks, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've got zero from the landing page to the form. Or do you have 50 clicks from the page to the form, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's a great idea, actually. That's actually shows
Because then you can actually diagnose where the problem is. Like right now, that's where you need that visibility.
yeah. Yeah, thanks. And that's real data as well that
Yeah,
I can work with.
yes. I mean, that's what you need.
Yeah. I'm also
Yeah,
thinking,
UTM tracking links.
yeah, awesome. I'll get on that today. I'm also thinking, what else can I be doing in terms of priority as well? Because right now I'm kind of feeling like a content creator. So I want to be doing other things alongside building the wait list, which is maybe, and you can tell me if I'm kind of heading in the right direction, which is maybe building relationships with potential funders or working on an investor pitch deck or even more, even creating more visibility as a founder because right now, really nobody knows who I am. So I feel I need to be more visible out there in order to create more trust. And that could be through LinkedIn or something like that. I don't know what you think.
I mean, it's always important to do that, but I think also more foundationally is like you need to have so talk to customers, right? Find
Yeah,
any and all ways to talk to customers. This is only one channel we've been talking about, which is leveraging the TikTok
yeah,
and that's basically like cold conversations or cold users, right? Like, is there any way to
yeah.
leverage LinkedIn for you to start conversations with more like you don't have to think about it like the wait list, but like to refine your messaging, refine your product. Are there people that you could be talking to that could be potential customers of yours?
Actually, maybe not LinkedIn, but Reddit could be a good idea. Reddit. I don't know what you think.
That's fine. It's more difficult to get direct conversations through Reddit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like how you don't know who they are,
True. Yeah,
right? You don't know, you can't pinpoint a user,
yeah,
right? You can get engagement, you can share something and try to get engagement. That makes
yeah,
sense.
true.
But like
Yeah,
right now, I'm just saying like you need to refine also directionally what you're trying to build, how you're trying to sell it. What
yeah,
do people actually need? What is going to get them to say yes? What's going to get them to engage with you, right?
yeah,
So, I mean, it still goes back to can you leverage, again, whether it's LinkedIn or Reddit, but can you use that to generate real conversations,
yeah, yeah,
right? Right now, you're trying to digitize the entire form that did that information gathering, but can you do it in a non-scalable way, in tangent to the digital version?
yeah. I'll have to find a way to figure that out.
Because there's no point in creating more visibility if you don't know what you need to create visibility around.
Hmm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, I think you still need to narrow in the direction of like, what do you need to be a thought leader in? Like, what should you be sharing as a thought leader? What kind of content is actually going to resonate with the people that you're trying to target?
yeah.
You need to get that answer before you start promoting yourself,
Going out there. Yeah,
right? So, I mean, in addition to this, I would also just like, again, you have 2 weeks, but like you should, if you're leveraging a warm network, like 10 warm conversations, 5 a week, one a day.
yeah.
Reach out to people you
I mean,
know.
there are people I can talk to and get them. Look, people I know or people that I know people who know that I can get them to go to the website, do the survey,
Don't do that.
and
Talk to
just give
them
me the
and
feedback.
ask, no, verbally go through the survey.
Okay, okay,
Don't walk them, don't send them to the survey. Like
okay.
hop on a call and get the answers. Otherwise, you're giving them again an opportunity for them to opt out of doing something.
Yeah, yeah,
Every time you give somebody a link, you're leaving it up to them to make a decision,
true.
right? And like
Yeah,
how much do we covet our time? I'm not gonna like I wouldn't fill it out if I don't know you. I barely fill out stuff that my family sends me. And it's only like after they remind me 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, true.
But if they call me, I'm gonna give them the answers right there.
Yeah.
So again, you already have this going. Make sure you have the tracking, and then just do the manual part of getting 10 conversations instead of just waiting for them.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Definitely. Yes. Yes, I will do that. I love the tracking with the spreadsheet. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely
Definitely.
need to
Yeah.
track it. You need to know. So this goes for everybody, but it's like if you're not tracking these steps, you don't know where the problem is. And if you don't know where the problem is, what you're going to be spinning wheels trying to think you're going to be trying to solve for 3 different things when it could just be one thing.
Yeah.
Like you probably didn't need to create a bunch of videos. You should have spent that time figuring out the tracking,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
You don't need to be a content creator. You don't need to create 300 videos if you have 3 that's working.
Yeah.
Right? You're just
Hmm.
you're doing that, but is it productive? Probably not. What's more productive? Getting the tracking.
Yeah.
Because you're getting the clicks, you're getting the views. Theoretically, you're getting the clicks because you said that you're seeing that, but you're
Yes.
not getting them to fill out the form. So there's a problem between getting to the landing page and then the landing page to go to
And
the
doing the
form,
form. Yeah.
right? And you
Yeah.
identified at least there's a problem because the link wasn't working, but now you have the link working. You need to know if people are clicking on that link. Are they getting to the form?
Yeah.
And if they're getting to the form, if you have 100 people visit the form, but nobody's filling it out, guess what the problem is?
Yeah. Absolutely.
What's the problem? If 100 people
Hmm.
click the link to the form, what's the problem?
Yeah. The problem is with the form.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
yeah. Yeah.
Right? How you're introing it, what they're seeing, whatever they're landing on, it's
Yeah.
not resonating.
Yeah.
Right? But then you don't need to solve for the content. You don't need to solve for the landing page. You just need to fix the form.
Yeah. True.
Right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Chris.
Yep.
I
Rylan?
will get on that immediately, right away.
Cool.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey Chris, thanks for your time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went over to LinkedIn pretty much exclusively, mostly because I was starting to actually get replies. I did get replies. I actually sent fewer messages, got more replies, and I connected with 5 of these people. So two have proposals out. One, I followed up after I had connected with an email on my process, what a proposal might look like, and I just got an email about 1 to 2 hours ago saying we're going with another agency. And then the others I'm chasing, and there's some other updates in there. So um, that's working a lot better. Also, I think that so I did a combination of reaching out. So you only get 14 in messages based on probably the cheapest premium subscription to LinkedIn. So instead of wasting those basically, I would message people who had premium, so you can message people who have premium, or I sent them a connection request. The connection requests actually I don't know if I probably shouldn't count these as replies because they accepted my connections. Um, and I haven't. But there's connection requests that did accept the connection request, but I need to follow up with them on those replies.
Okay.
Um, so, I mean, that's the current status of the last steps. That previously I was doing emails. I got nothing. We looked at some of those. They suck. And the messaging was off. And I think a lot of the notes that came out of your selling without selling, I'm terrible at selling. But recognizing that a lot of the sales happens before you reach out and recognizing that my long-winded messaging and trying to pitch people right away was super easy to ignore. So um, yeah, that's changed my approach. And I'm actually starting to get pretty busy with other clients as well. So the outreach has been great. I think I just need to keep on working on productizing this, and I'd really like to get to a place where I'm automating it. But that's
Yeah.
the current status of things. So there's a couple of things that I'm thinking about here.
Okay. Um, I think why don't you work on productizing and just feel free to send a version of that within the next 2 weeks before our next call. But I mean, if you're getting to a place where something is working, I'd love for you to kind of just wireframe and map it out of like what is working and literally like copy and pasting the steps, right? Like don't oversimplify, but literally like walk through every little interaction that's getting you to the desired outcome. And then I can use that as an example of like how do you then actually find the process out of that to then automate? Because if you have more than one, if you have like a handful that you can reference, then we can go through and identify what out of those steps are necessary and what are superfluous.
Got it.
And how
Yeah.
can we potentially roll a few of the different touches into a single one to shorten the sales cycle or shorten the engagement cycle.
Okay.
Right. And that's for everybody too. It's like the first few attempts to get to the desired outcome will probably be your longest versions, right? Or sometimes the shortest, right? But it's not the scalable one. So what you're trying to always find is like, all right, after I've gotten a handful, what can I learn, right? And again, you're hopefully reverse engineering it. So it's like what I mean by like the handful of like desired outcomes, it's like it's not just getting somebody to respond, but it's like somebody to respond positively, uh, and is like, the ideal situation is like somebody that's become a customer because they're the ones that have shown all the way through the full conversion cycle, right? So like they are willing to pay for the value received. So the transaction's already there. If you don't have those yet, you want to get as furthest along as possible. And you don't need to convert to customer, but you just need people that are indicating some level of positive intent as far down as possible, right? Rather than if it's like not a paying customer, then it's ideally like, a pilot of some sort. If it's not a pilot, then it's a letter of intent. If it's not a letter of intent, it's a verbal confirmation of some sort, right? So you get what I'm saying, but like the whole point is like somebody understands there's a price, somebody understands there's a value, they understand that there's going to be at some point an exchange, and they've indicated that they're open to that idea, right? And that's what you're trying to do is you're trying to pull those people and then map backwards. How did they get there from the very beginning? Did it come from introduction? Did it come from, a cold outreach somewhere? And if you have 5 or 6 or 7 of those, and you just literally take every single exchange, you can identify parts of that process that was mandatory and the ones that you can again shorten or make it um, roll up the I've talked about this before, but like if there's objections or if there's like something about, some deeper intelligence they need around a certain feature functionality, and you see that happen like 30-60% of the time, then you should be able to put that into one of the earlier exchanges so you can bypass that question if it's happening multiple times. Right? That's it. So prioritize the
The steps, yeah.
steps in the outreach.
Yep.
And then
Figure out.
define the outcome that you're using. So again, if it's not customer, it's what level of intent is it, right?
This also applies to, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say this also applies to the conversations that I'm having because I've sent out proposals to some potential clients and like, I mean, it really pisses me off, but they're like, so just give me like the top three things that I need to work on. And then we start going back and forth, and then they say, well, I mean, just give me like some things that I can do on this thing. And then from that one thing, I can recognize like they don't even know what they need to be doing. Like they're not doing their due diligence. So it's helping to refine my questions in advance. So I'm not wasting my
Yeah,
time to get to
yeah,
that point. So that's helpful as well.
yeah, and it's also hopefully again you need to make it easy for them. So it's like, can you get ahead of some of these questions, right? So it's like again, if they don't even know, you should lead that off the moment you send them over like the initial engagement, right? And just be like, by the way, this is how you should think about it. What do you have in place for X, Y, and Z, right? Like I have, yeah, I mean, it's as simple as like whenever I've worked with somebody, um, I now have it broken down where it's like, fill out this worksheet. If you don't want to fill it out, we'll fill it out on the first call, right?
Mhm.
And it's like the ICP matrix. And that basically answers everything that I need to start the engagement, right? And if they don't want to do it, that's fine. We do it on the first call. But when we do it on the first call, that means that they're too lazy to do it, but that's fine. But they're now paying me to do it, right?
Got it. That's
So,
good.
whatever that might look like as it translates to your business.
Thanks, Chris.
Yep. All right. Bodie's out. Emily K. All right. Christopher N.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Hey, so I sent you that WhatsApp last week. Not gonna
Yep.
lie, I felt really unmotivated because I remember you talked about earlier. It's like you got to ask yourself if you want to do this. And I was
Yeah.
like, nah, I don't really like reaching out to these brokers and ask them for 15 minutes or asking for a survey. So then I did a little bit of digging, and then I was like, I'm sure you're familiar with like Justin Moore and all these other newsletters where they're just popping up. And I wanted to do the same thing where I wanted to build out like a quote unquote community, but focused on helping these brokers close more deals. So I just started to briefly post on LinkedIn just so I can get like more, I don't know, just to see the traction. And like I've seen my numbers go up from like 100 to like 1,000, which isn't huge, but I see people viewing it. I'm also commenting on people and trying to get that in. I guess my biggest hurdle now is like I'm noticing all the newsletters. I'm trying to figure out should my newsletters be focused on like events? Should it be like here's some content where you can easily find the easiest thing for your broker and your sellers? Because ultimately my goal is like I still want to help with that brokerage business. I feel like it's really fragmented, and there's got to be a way where there's like an ecosystem that can share within that space. So that's where
Yeah. So, I mean, I would just start a newsletter and I would start, you can always ask in your newsletter, like, the first post could just be a survey. And you can ask them what kind of content they want.
I have no subscribers, by the way, but I could probably find some. Be like, hey, I'm building this thing out. Are you interested in blah blah blah?
That's fine. Then make a preliminary, yeah, you can still create a Substack and you can start promoting that.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
good.
There's a way. Yeah, you can create a Substack. You can use it to create articles like a Medium, and then you can post it on LinkedIn. You can also do on LinkedIn, you can create your own um like newsletter, and the algorithm is pretty favorable. What is it called? But I would also do that. Yeah, we don't even do this that actively, but we've got like 1,600 some subscribers.
Got it. Okay. Yeah,
And
because
this is an easy way like to start, like you could do this and just repurpose the content through Substack and LinkedIn. This is a good way to start.
perfect, perfect. Yeah, because I'm thinking like I was telling mentioned to you earlier, like there's so many paths for newsletters. It's like there's events, content you can create. You can create like a super highly gatekeepy community. I was thinking about like this is a business that I would buy, and I found this on this thingy, and here's why I would buy it. Just kind of like I'm trying to figure out this is like I'm going back to zero and then figuring out how I can.
Yeah, the point is like don't overthink it. Even like just create an article around what you're thinking about doing.
Perfect. Love that.
Like that's for everybody, right? It's like you don't know what will work and what won't work. I guarantee you that nobody is tracking your every step and behavior to give a shit enough to analyze it. So you're stuck in your own head of overly thinking what people are going to care about when you just don't know.
Okay.
Like at the end of the day, whatever you think is like, why would I buy it? I mean, that's a great thing, but like, at the end of the day, maybe more people care about like how do you even figure out what you should write about.
Mm. Okay.
Maybe a lot of people care more about the process than they do the end result.
Perfect. So do you think a
So
good thing to keep track for milestones is like how many articles I've written or how many people have signed up for my newsletter?
in the beginning, just the number of articles, right? So like I would try to publish something between now and next week, in 2 weeks, right? That's I think 7 is a good goal of like that's once every other day. And dude, like that's really like table stakes. It's not like a lot, but like publish 7 articles, right? That means publish live, right? So through Substack and LinkedIn. Um, and once you have it published, you can start now driving traffic, right? That means you can go on LinkedIn posts and be like, I actually wrote about this topic here. Go on Reddit. I actually wrote about this topic here,
Perfect.
right? Start engaging and then driving people if they're curious, right? Now you can start, it's going to be fully labor intensive, but right now you're just back to learning.
Got it. And then would you say it's a little too crazy if I started posting it on Instagram and TikTok and just
No,
focus?
nothing's too crazy.
Okay. Just seeing which channel, because I think the goal would be also like distribution, like which one is the best medium where the people.
Right now you're in the place of just create consistently.
Perfect. Sounds good. Also, thanks everyone for the feedback on the chat. I see it.
Cool.
Thank
I'm gonna push it to 10. I think publish 10 with AI's help. It's literally you can just have a conversation every day with ChatGPT, record that shit, and then just like or chat to your phone of like an idea, just talk out loud, and then you can upload that recording to any AI and have it help you.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thanks, Chris.
I do that like during like on a treadmill, like just talk to something and then just create content from it.
Sweet. Thank you.
Okay. Kathleen T. Here.
Hi, yes, you said Kathleen?
Oh, hey Kathleen.
Yeah. Um, so quick update on my end. I was working on 2 prospects. One of them wanted analytics, and I have a meeting scheduled with him next week. And then the other one wanted automated spreadsheet billing. And I actually had a meeting with them last week. And one of the things that came up was, oh no, last week, and I got a message from them last Tuesday saying that they just totally changed their mind. And after I told her about how, we really do our billing through Stripe and, all that thing, she decided that she actually wanted to just do manual billing directly through Stripe. Because the software she uses has been Maxio, which also uses Stripe. So she's like, I'd rather just do more manual billing with Stripe because we have a lot of debt in our business. And I think the extra income would help our business to pay off our debt. But she's like, as soon as we're better in a better financial position, um, we'll like get into margin. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I didn't get too hung up on it because I mean the reality is like either people want your product or not. And if they don't value their time or if they're really in deep financial trouble that they can't, justify paying for it, that's not the right customer for margin. And I do have a customer profile, which is like customers on specific WMSs that make certain amount of revenue per year. And sometimes I get cases like this where it's like, oh, she doesn't really go in it, but this would be great to like, have a reason to build this thing on the roadmap. And then they always just kind of peter out, and I'm just like, I really need to stop exploring outside of my ICP, like because I just get taught every time not to do it. So anyways, moving on. I only built a few couple of things for them, so it wasn't minor, but they are helpful for my customers. So what I'm working on now, one of my customers spoke to me and says he wants to start doing automated ACH pulls. So I'm building that out with Stripes to enable that. And then I'll be working on the metrics feature, which actually, just shows you your business margin, which is like in the title of the freaking business. So, this is my intent to get to this point. And the meeting I have on Monday is for that. And this customer definitely fits the ICP. He's already spoken to my competitors, so that's like a really good sign. Yeah, I think in the past when I have spoken to someone and they already spoke to my competitor, I took that as a negative sign because I would think, oh, I'm not good enough for them. But now that I actually have customers that have left my competitor, for me, it's like actually that's a great sign because that just means that I have something that my competitor doesn't have. And so what it's been has been one has been super detailed billing. Number two, what it's going to be is metrics around profit margins. So yeah, that's where I'm at, just live and learn. And, you know, it's funny kind of reading about all the other like startups and my friends who like seem to have way more momentum getting into YC or whatever. But I do feel like I'm in a good direction because I feel like I'm getting to something real and, I'm making like a few $1,000s a month. So that's a pretty good position.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
How
open to your thoughts.
how many customers do you have right now?
So I have
Paying customers?
Yeah, two paying customers, and the total around that is $2,400 a month. So this for this metrics tool, this guy he's willing to pay $1,000 per month for it.
And
So
that's one of the two.
no, this is a new one, but I have two
Okay, new one.
customers. They're paying $2,400 a month, and the person that is interested in the metrics tool, he's willing to
Got
pay
it.
$1,000 a month, and he would be the third customer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think like after this third one with the metrics, we need to start focusing on how you're planning on scaling,
Okay. Yeah,
right?
of
How
course.
do you go for 3 to 30?
Yeah.
And what
No,
is that
absolutely.
timeline? Yeah. What is that
Yeah.
timeline and how do you start doing that, right? I mean, I get it where you're in at a certain point, you gotta stop focusing too much on new feature builds and your product's gotta be at a place where it is now scalable and you're sellable.
Yes.
And then you need to pause on adding new stuff. Obviously,
Yeah.
if you need to move more upstream and there's bigger feature requests because it's $100,000 deal, totally makes sense. But
Yeah.
now, if you've built it and you have three, you should be able to like the
Hmm.
world's not so unique, right? Where these are unicorns. They
Yeah.
are. There's probably at least 100 times more of those that exist in the world. So how do you
Yes.
get in front of those?
Yeah. And I think a really important, I totally agree. And I think a really important part of that journey is really like narrowing in on the ICP and being proven time and time and again when I try to go after a type of business and just get a slap in the face, it didn't work out. It's like, see, like this is even the stronger reason why you need to be more focused. And sometimes I have to go through that because I'm kind of stubborn and I need to experiment and I want to be proven wrong and I'm proven wrong. It's like, all right, I knew I shouldn't have gone after that customer. But yeah, you're totally right. And I have a partnership with something called fulfill.com. They're basically like a 3PL to brand matchmaker. And so they have they have like 20,000 3PLs in their network. And so I already have a partnership with them and they provide referrals. So they haven't ramped it up yet because this is January, but I think definitely after I get this feature out and hopefully this third customer, I could go back to them and be like, hey, so you sent me that customer, that's great. Like what have you heard in the grapevine? What are some business that you could connect me with? And of course, this third customer too, he's part of this like friend group with like 3PLs. There's like 30 3PLs in there, business owners, and they're just kind of like a bro squad. And so I'm hoping that also just doing a really good job gets me in their circle and he'll just like, make introductions for other prospects too. So,
Yeah.
because I'm
Okay.
just trying to get to 10. To go from 3 to 10, I know it's like really hard, but I definitely think it's doable. There's definitely a pattern. I mean, for sure.
Okay. Got it. All right. Good deal.
Thanks.
Yep. Caroline M.
Hi.
Hey.
Um, so I am currently in the technical weeds, but my goal was to test some features with 5 people. I managed to test with two. Part of that, yeah, it just took me a long time to get to a point where I could test it. And then I got myself blocked by the provider or carrier because I was sending too many test messages to myself. And so now I'm finally unlocked. Um, so I'm going to continue down that path. I'm noticing some bugs, or my testers are helping me find bugs. So I'm like refining. Um, so for the next 2 weeks, I'd like to get to a point where I can test it with 5 more people. And um, yeah, I feel like the thing that I'm developing just feels like all my goals feel like moving targets because they're so like intertwined, they're interlinked. So like working on one feature requires another aspect from another feature. And so I'm kind of like building a lot of these features partially. So that's really why it took me so long to get to this point where I could actually test it because I had like, 8 different half-baked ideas, and now I have maybe 4 solid things that I can actually test. So, um, yeah, just gonna continue down that path. I'm hoping to get, like I said, get to a point where I can um, feel good about testing with 5 more people. I also have a little game that I'm planning for Super Bowl using Pippa is now Zoomy, so using Zoomy to facilitate some games during the Super Bowl game. So something interactive, get people on board, get people to sign up, and then there will be some sort of activity that gets people engaged with Zoomy. So all that because of your the story that you shared about your friend creating the app for another friend. I thought that was so cute and fun.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Yeah, and then I just have some like admin things. Like I really do need to get um things switched over from so switching from Pippa to Zoomy is not super easy or I mean, there's just a lot of pieces. I have to change the phone number and there's a process involved in that. I'm trying to port from one carrier provider to another. And then on top of that, I have to like go through the brand and campaign approval process. So I have those like admin things that I need to, I need to I need to get over that or I need to do it before I feel good about sharing Zoomy because I don't want to get people on it and then have to, I mean, it's not a huge deal. I already have some people on it, but I would really like to have at least the phone number that I'm going to be using going forward sorted out before I start inviting more people to join it because yeah.
And what's the blocker on doing that? I feel like that shouldn't take that long.
I mean, there's just a lot of little steps. Like I have to get an EIN for some reason. It wouldn't let me do it online. I have to fax it. Then I have to, I'm trying to transfer the number. I actually bought the number on one platform, but I want to transfer it to another because I'm on their, like, I'm in their startup program. So I have credits. And instead of paying for it out of pocket, I can use the credits towards testing. And then, yeah, and then there's just a process to get approved to send messages. I know that there are services that you can, third-party services that kind of handle that part for you, but I'm actually setting my number up as a brand and I have to um, prove that I'm a legitimate brand, that I'm not out there trying to spam people or scam people. And then within a brand, you have to set up a campaign. You have to show them what you're doing. And so actually, I know that um, building a new website is actually a part of that because they will look at your website to make sure that they will verify as a part of their verification process. They look at your website and make sure that you're actually legit. And so it is I have all these like little things that just
Yeah,
have
I
to get
understand. I mean, I
done.
guess like it's just that I mean, I don't know. To me, it's like you're building a house in the middle of nowhere and you don't know if you're going to get visitors. And you're like focusing on the kitchen trim and You know, do you get what I'm saying? It's like, and you don't know if anybody's actually going to see it.
And
I understand why some of these things are important, but I think you need to balance it out and you need to lean more around, again, building something that people will use and understanding what people will use and have that be 80% of your effort with 20% of your effort going towards some of these day-to-day logistical admin stuff.
yes, um, agreed. And actually I mean, that's why I haven't gotten around to all these, little tasks because I have been focused on building because I do want, people don't really understand what I'm building. I mean, I can explain it and they're like, they kind of get it, but it is one of those things you can't, it is harder it is much easier to understand once you see it. So I am really working hard towards
Well,
getting something that
just
I can
remember
show people.
there's a lot of ways to show things,
Yeah.
right? You could create a video, you can generate images, you can
Yes.
generate screenshots. You
Hmm.
don't have to have a working prototype for you to explain things,
Right.
right? Like you just need supplemental aids to do it, but you
Yep.
don't need to have an actual working prototype. So my point being is that rethink the idea of what MVP is, because at the end of the day, if you're prioritizing building a working prototype that still at the end of the day will be changed another 15, 20 times again, the amount of time you're spending on those first whatever 14 prototypes building something that was working that then ends up getting scrapped, right? Because you got the feedback and then it didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just not a good use of time,
Okay.
right? So
So,
I would rethink just how you can get the answers that you need to shortcut or like shorten the process to then identify what you need to build that is the working prototype.
yeah, that is an approach that I hadn't really thought of. I mean, I do have like a mini demo on my website, which is all, you know,
But that's the
fabricated.
thing that you maybe need to continuously reiterate.
Right. And
Like you don't need to build these things and test it and all that stuff. Like maybe you just need to keep iterating on the demo until people
right,
understand it without you having to explain it.
right. Yeah, no, that's a good idea because I think as a builder, I was kind of, I guess, stuck on can I actually pull this up? Is this even possible? What would it look like? Can I actually do this? And so that's where I've been, focusing my time and my energies trying to prove that this is possible.
Yeah, but
But
then it's like locking yourself in a black box, trying
right,
to figure out, and somebody's like telling you you need to get to these coordinates. Like, uh, okay. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's so you have no idea where to go.
yeah. Yeah, no, I totally see your point. And I think at another time I might have thought that working on like a mock-up demo would be a waste of time, but now I see your point. I think that I can see how that is another way to think of that as another way to demo the idea and
Yeah,
get
you need to get out
feedback.
the like that product mentality, and you need to just
Okay.
you need to focus on validation. And
Yeah.
I guarantee you, like when you get that validation of, the data-driven validation, it's just going to make you that much more productive
Yeah.
as a product person because you're going to be building with confidence. Versus
Right.
right now, it's gonna feel like you're half-baked ideas and it's eight things and it's half done and it's all because you don't have the direction. You know what I mean? It's like you
Yeah.
try going left, you try going right, you try going northwest and east and all these different directions and then get you there. So
Yeah,
you're just running in circles and you'll continue to run in circles until you prioritize again, just like and by that time, who knows? It might be too late. It might already be a other iteration, right? Like somebody else came up with I guarantee you, like 90% of like the successful products out there aren't the best products. It's just that they figured out how to get it to market.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That was enlightening.
Okay.
Thank you
So
so
simplify the
much.
MVP, have the conversations,
Yeah.
do your tests.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks.
Carolyn, I threw in V0 is really good for this. I was making the same mistake when I joined this group and going off.
Okay.
So like what I created there is already
Yeah.
changed. But
All
just
right.
forcing something
Yeah.
helped with conversations, and then it forced me to change my thinking. So
Okay. Cool. Thank
extra
you.
work, but it did help.
Wait, is UVO? Yes. Okay. Cool. Let me check it out. Thank
Lovable is
you.
a good one. There are a bunch out there that can help put something together pretty quick.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep. Jason.
Oh, that's what I get for interrupting.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Let's pull up so 90% done on this end-to-end core MVP flow for users. I did a spike around being able to fully customize an LM personality throughout the site. Because for that AI native feel, you want to balance having a chat window, but also prompts, little buttons to check to get feedback, and really nailing down a clear and clean personality was especially important for the ICPs and also to differentiate across frontier LLMs. So built that in, 5 pre-built, they can fully customize as well. It interfaces with every LLM interaction. What I need to go on the conversation flow to get from 90% to 100% complete is just figuring out the final review. So I have it set up with scenarios, then personas, then there's the conversation, and then the longitudinal analysis of, right, based on this conversation itself and what the rubric was, all right, I need now detailed actionable feedback.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then is that your goal within the next 2 weeks, or is that something that you can do earlier? And then how quickly can you get this now into hands of customers?
Trying to get it this week because I have a customer who wants to use it. I don't have billing built yet. So that's where I need to get some billing going, but I need this core workflow. So, and I also, I forgot a comment on there on the prior one. One of my top ICP at the moment, I actually added them to my linear board because they are doing QA for me and creating issues. That's how much they want this.
Okay. Okay. So you do have already now potential users, customers, and you feel like, let's just say between now and 2 weeks, you can get the conversation flow 100%. Can you get at least one in within that time frame also to start using the product?
Oh yeah, I already have one in using the product, but
Okay, so can you get
paying, not yet because I haven't built the payment infrastructure.
okay. Uh, okay, that's fine. So to me, it's either get somebody paying or add another 2 customers.
Yep,
What's something you
that
can
would
do?
be very doable.
Which one?
The add to, not the paying.
Add to. Okay.
That would be a level of validation and testing when you come to the money changing
Sure.
hands. I'd
So
want to get
so
right.
basically, like you want to use these users to identify where you should put the paywall or how you can start charging, right?
There's that, but also some of the bug fixing, the
Yeah,
feedback, the feel to it. I'm a solo founder. There are just things that I will not miss because I'm moving fast.
I understand. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we just want to start progressing along so that what is that number that you need and to get to fixing the bugs, and then at which point can you start seeing enough activity or engagement from these users to know
Mhm.
confidently that they find value so that you could charge or have that conversation of charging, right?
Yep. Mind if I show a visual to this group to see if anyone here might be interested in being one of those two?
Yeah, or can you share it in the
Mhm.
all right, go
I'm
for it.
trying to do a presentation. Uh, there we go. Um, Is this screen visible? Are you seeing VC pitch?
Yeah.
So the 3-step flow is you set up a scenario, each of these, and there will be user generated community over time. I'm just seeding it with some starting ones. But here's your context, specific goals, things to watch out for, seeding questions, and there are 3 different levels of information that the AI can know about you. That is then paired with who's it going to be with, and that's what I'm working on now. But similar voice, personality traits, custom instructions. So when I said for this group here, even though I was starting just pure interviews, it's the AI is relatively same. The context engineering is the same. Set up a scenario, a conversation, a duration, and you start.
Mhm.
Let's see if this actually hits start. So like just getting in the California GDPR, all the privacy stuff, how to build that in, all the post hoc stuff. I don't know if this is actually gonna work live because I'm on a local dev. Yeah, there we go. So has built-in live metrics for it. Let's see me talking to it now. It'll probably disconnect in a moment because I'm doing something with Live Kick as we speak, but you have the transcript. So the final step when I say get 90 to 10 is going to be what happens when the conversation is over and getting that detailed response and what to do about it.
Got it. Okay.
So if anyone is thinking, how do I practice a sales discovery call? That's the thing. I wasn't building it for this, but the way I've been building toward my prior use case seems like it could work for those.
Got it. Okay. Cool. Jag. Yeah. Okay. Pablo. Nick K. Oh, Nick. Thomas.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
good, good. It's been a minute since I've got this because I always got conflicts. So yeah, it's been a rough few weeks. I had my co-founder message me out of the blue, said his mom had cancer and is just gone. Um,
Yeah.
so been in a bit of triage mode, and as I from for the detail in the background, I'm not fully technical, but I'm somewhat technical. Let's just call me like a part-time technical person. So I've been able to I put 80% in here of the technical stuff sorted, because I had 2 customers mid onboarding when this happened. So I've basically just been trying to keep them not panicking, and continue the onboarding while I try to backfill technical support. And it's actually going decently well. I feel actually it's nice to be in the tech because I'm has cut a little bit of the iteration out of it because I can work on stuff myself. But definitely not a long-term solution. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think my goal for next week is to get one of the customers back up live. And I've been trying to have conversations with at least 3 conversations a week with new potential technical folks.
Okay. Okay. How are you planning on trying to do that?
Doing YC uh, co-founder meetup. That's kind of my main thing. And then I have a couple friends that are in the space that I've reached out to and asked if they know anyone.
Okay.
I really want to stay away from transactional people because I hate that shit. The people that want to just build something for money. So I want to get somebody that's actually got some buy-in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Um, and then until you do that, I mean, like, where do you feel like you are with like the product itself? And I know you're not the technical person, but yeah, where do you
Yeah.
feel like you are?
I would say I feel like that 80/20. I feel very good about a lot of things. I'm doing all the
Okay.
end-to-end testing right now and everything's passing and it looks great. I guess the part that is always nerve-wracking as someone that's not fully technical is I don't know
Sure.
what I'm and I'm just like, hey, you didn't turn on this thing and you completely fucked something, or I'm going to erase a database. So um, most of like the what I would love in the interim is, and that's I've even been trying to maybe find someone that I can bring in just short term to make sure I'm not burning anything down, because the product connects into like ERP's back end, so it's important data that you do not want to mess up with. And I'm only in sandboxes right now, which is great, but the next step is going to be taking it into their live databases. So it's got to be feel very confident when I do that.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. All right. So I think then, yeah, prioritizing, trying to find that technical co-founder is obviously critical for
Okay.
you to kind of pick things back up. So we'll go from there.
Okay.
Um, I think, you know, let's see if you can have at least like 5 conversations over the next 2 weeks with a
Okay.
potential new. I don't think that's crazy.
No.
Usually it's gonna take like 50 conversations, but yeah, I think so. They think like 5 conversations will be fine.
Yeah. Very doable.
Okay, good deal.
Thanks.
Takeshi.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So right now I'm focusing on finishing up my demo this week. We have the inventory version almost complete. And then we were planning to show our beta customers at the end of this week. Um, we had one that got rated last week out of Dallas for like fraud or something. They're stealing gold. So
Mm-hmm.
that one's out. So at least we have one in LA that's uh, we're still working on. So we'll demo it to them, and then I hired like a consultant that does a lot of jewelry marketing for
Mm-hmm.
shops in Dallas area. I hired her for 3 months, and then she's gonna help me kind of promote our application. So I'm gonna meet her end of this week too. But she works with multiple jewelers already, so I think she could introduce us to some of the ones that she works with right now.
So how are you actually measuring success with this person? Like, how do you know if
This
they are actually going to be like a considered a good hire or not?
it's a consultant. I just hired her like for 3 months, 2 hours a week. But
Uh-huh.
I do want her to help me with marketing our product, and then also giving us advice on, like, I know she takes a lot of pictures and marketing stuff for other jewelers. So getting introduction, hopefully get like 5 or I don't know, maybe 10. I don't know, the ones that, at least in the Dallas area. And then I'm planning to get advice on process improvement that she needs, because obviously we're trying to streamline retail operations, and then she does a lot for the retailers. So those
Okay.
3 things are the key things that I want from
So,
this
so
consultant.
yeah. So the main thing I would say is like for every single hire, especially in the early stage,
Yep,
you need to be very definitive with what success looks like from a tangible outcome perspective, right?
yep,
So, this is something that people don't do well, and why sales and marketing roles tend to be the highest like turnover roles for the first
yep,
like 2 to 3 years of every startup. So I think you need to there's the math component to it, which is like what do they need to bring in to justify the cost, right?
yep,
You've seen this across like it's a startup metric, but like revenue per head count, right?
yep,
So you need to understand, you don't need to worry about that necessarily, but like what is the ROI on this individual? And
yep,
then based off of what you need them to bring in to make sure that they cover their own cost, you can then figure out, okay, well, based on this, baseline, like bottom line, I need to see this outcome,
Yep.
right? And so like that might be like I need them to bring in 3 customers at 10,000 a month each, right? Like whatever it is. For me to get to 3 customers, I need them to get me 50 intros, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that helps you then justify what those metrics are. So that I think between now and the
Yep.
2 weeks from now, like let's define what those metrics are, and you need to communicate that with this person. And it's just going to be good practice across the board. So even for you internally to know what and to start getting under that thinking of like everything should be mathematical in terms of how I justify spend and how I justify the stuff that we're spending time on.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. And then that way you can now know like what you should be having this, like you now can do what I'm doing with you guys, right? Like holding this person accountable, having the conversations week over week, what's working, what's not working, right? If they are coming in as a consultant, as expert, and they're not producing, right? What is the reason? You know, and if you don't know what the expectation is, that's a very difficult conversation to have with them versus being able to be like having the conversation with them and being like, hey, we talked about getting 10 intros this month. We're 3 weeks in, I've only had one. What's going on?
Yeah.
Right. But if
Yeah.
you go to them after 3 weeks or 4 weeks and you're like, hey, what's going on? They're going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm working on blah, 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 blah. You guys never defined anything. How can you go back and be like, you're doing poorly?
Okay. Yeah,
You get what I'm
that
saying?
makes sense. I already fired 2 of them already, so sales are.
Yeah.
I think it's hard. It's a hard one, yeah, to find good people.
It's not, it's also as you need to be a good sales leader, which is not, it's hard, right? So you need to define those expectations in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'll do that. Makes sense.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Yep. Sarah S. Right here. Anybody I miss?
Hi,
Okay.
Chris. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Sarah.
I'm, to be honest with you, just sort of wanted to be on the call and not talk because I'm just sort of reeling from everything that has happened. I got news today that we didn't make it to the final 8 of Techstars.
Okay.
It was a really lovely email from the managing director. So it's sort of like there's something to take from that. Said it's not a no, but it's not a not yet. And it was very competitive. And I think out of all the accelerators, I was really sort of counting on this one because I just love working with them and love, everything about what they do. We're still waiting for other sort of VCs, but we also lost one of our engineers in the recent Iran protests. Sorry, I'm just trying not to get emotional. So that's that. And I'm sort of trying to figure out how to move forward with everything because I don't know if we have enough sort of runway to continue with the company at the same time. Losing a major sort of product lead engineer was a huge blow. And especially since last week, I was trying to, we were trying to recruit this sort of a person that would help us with our go-to market strategy. Things were looking up before everything that happened. And so just psychologically not in a great place and wondering how I should move forward. So I was kind of looking into Upscrolled, which is a similar app, and they're really sort of banking on avoiding any type of censorship and shadow banning on social media. Just was kind of looking into that. Actually emailed the founder and he responded, so might have a conversation with him. Other than that, truly, I don't know. I'm sure everyone kind of hits these sort of blockages, but for us, with everything that's happening, it's a little bit harder for me, to be honest.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that. I know you messaged me privately about some of the stuff you're going through. Yeah, and I mean, I'll just say so this is part of life, right? It's a crazy world, it's crazy times. Different people are affected differently. And I think if anything, it's a good reflection point to take a pause, right? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, only spend time on things that are important to you. Um, like building a business and entrepreneurship and all this stuff, it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. It takes a lot out of you. And I mean, I have stories of shit that I went through. I mean, like I developed shingles with my first startup, like um and so I understand and I understand like if your mind is elsewhere, let it be elsewhere. Just let it be present in that and what you're going through. And I think give yourself the grace of going through that fully and be, what I mean? And I think just spend some time, even if it's a dark place, like allow yourself to feel some of these things and, you know, hopefully you have enough self-awareness to know when you've fully allowed yourself to immerse yourself in that experience and then hopefully you can find the right timing to then revisit. And when you revisit after you allow yourself to be fully present in whatever that experience might be, hopefully, and for me, usually, like even if it is in darkness or in grief or in something dark, I usually come out of those experiences with a, a more refreshed perspective because at the end of the day, what we are doing is still a human to human connection. And especially what you're trying to build is a human to human connection, even if it's digitally. And I think, yeah, I think just put this on the back burner for now. It's if it's already something that's become so important to you, it will still sit in your subconscious while you're still going through life. Um, and yeah, and I think just organically let yourself come back to it and don't put yourself through pressure to having to do it. 99% of this game is all about execution. If you can't execute because you're half somewhere else, I don't think it's the best. I don't just, I think that's just, life is more important to focus on other things as well. So, anyways.
Thank you, Chris. That was really lovely. Thank you. I just, to be honest with you, there's two things that I wanted to run by you. One is, um, I don't know what to make of the letters from the like the emails from the managing
Yeah.
directors. Um, Everyone tells me they wouldn't have even put the time if you weren't truly something they would see success in, especially if they said keep in touch. Should I actually contact them and ask them and potentially seek more feedback in terms of why we weren't chosen, um, and just keep that conversation going? Is that something you recommend? And
I
then
would,
obviously
yeah,
one
if you're
of the
not
reasons
clear,
I'm sort of trying to go ahead.
sorry, you cut out.
Sorry, go ahead. You cut out. It's for me as well.
No, I was just saying that, yeah, I would definitely ask for a deeper set of feedback, right? And just tell them you're fine with complete candidness and honesty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Clearly you saw something though, and I would lead with this, which is like, I appreciate, the positive note, but it would be really it would be even more helpful if you can give me like really constructive like criticism.
Okay.
I know we didn't meet certain criteria. I would just love to understand what that criteria is. I mean, like, I would just want to know, I would rather know the answer, even if it's harsh, even if it's going, I mean, like, I would never take any of this personally, anyways. It's like,
Mm.
so just try to figure out what the real answer is. Like, however you want to position it, try to figure out the real answer because the real answer will be more beneficial for you.
Of course. And one of the things that he mentioned in the meeting was like how he said specifically, this is so important. You guys have such great insight. If anyone, you should do it. And I think this should exist in the world. And we would be happy to be part of this. And even if we don't end up becoming partners, I believe you guys should continue. So everything was really great until we had we had 2 meetings with them, and this was sort of, I think we were amongst the last 25, and 8 were chosen. The thing about, do I have to also consider the fact that I guess part of the thing was that the competition was very, very intense, and there were a lot of AI companies, I guess, that were in the running. Do I take that into account, or do I really actually ask him about, as you said, the metrics and the
No,
criteria?
don't, it doesn't, at this point, it doesn't matter
Okay.
about the other businesses, right? Like,
Okay.
it doesn't matter, I would focus on understanding, sure, like it was competitive. Sure, there's AI things that they probably see like, oh, there's we're gonna jump into that space because it's a hot space, right? And there's
Mhm.
like not a huge amount of other conviction beyond that. But like I think from what you want to ascertain is like from a business model perspective, like what are the pros and cons of what you're
I
trying to
see.
pull, right?
I see.
Like where do because at the end of the day, they're making bets on the behalf of their LPs,
Hmm.
right? And so they need to be able to also rationalize whatever it is that they're putting their LPs money into
Yeah.
back to their newsletters to their SLPs, right? So, um, yeah, I think you need to just ask them like they saw they out of that pool of whatever 20 something, they saw those other 19, or again whatever it might be, I don't know what the final number is, but like they saw that those were going to be more financially viable, right, in some way, shape, or form. Why is that? I would want to know, because then you understand the uphill battle or the challenge for you
I see.
in terms of like your unit business economics, right?
Hmm. I
Does
see.
that make sense?
Thank you. I just think one of the reasons, 100%. The reason, to be honest, why I'm sort of hanging tooth and nail, I feel like I was kind of amongst the last sort of men standing in terms of keeping the company going. Uh, we have a brilliant team still, but do you recommend actually pausing until we figure out a way forward and get the runway from the accelerators and the VCs or do you think we should just push forward and find another way to actually move this forward? I know you said take a breather, but I'm worried about the momentum that we built, and I'm worried about the
Yeah.
company as a whole.
Yeah, that's a personal decision, right? It's like somebody who
Yeah.
decides to mortgage their house for the second time, like which I know people have personally done that, but then I also
Yeah.
know other entrepreneurs that would never do that. Like,
Mm.
so it's how much can you stomach and how much are you prepared and where are you mentally, and those are all things you have to self-assess and make the decision. I do think from entrepreneur like purely entrepreneurial, like there are people that can't to deal with also harder things than you're dealing with, right? Like, and still do it for some reason. So, take it into account that there's a spectrum
Mhm.
uh and in terms of like the world of entrepreneurship, the world of ideas, none of that stops. So if you have some momentum, you have gained some traction and you feel like, hey, I still need to be dedicating my time to this because I truly believe in it, then do it. But that's again, you need to make that your own distinction on whether that's worth it. I don't know if we lost you.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, if there's anything else, let me know. But again, I think between now, you have the 2 weeks. I would put your milestone as just like try to figure out what you want to do with the business and start mapping out if you do decide to continue on, right? Like start mapping out what are the baby milestones you want to continue to work on. And
Yeah.
one of those is potentially finding another engineer, right? Like, but what are the things that you will need to keep the momentum going?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else I miss? All right. Next week I'll have another work session. I'll float some ideas in the WhatsApp group, and we'll decide what those are. I have a couple of ideas, but yeah, I'm thinking either we're gonna allow you guys to do the pitch, do the sales pitches and evaluations. And also separately from that, I think how to leverage potentially like AI for accurate attribution as it relates to go to market. So yeah, I'll float a couple of those things and see which one you guys want to cover. Cool. All right, guys. Have a good week. We'll chat next Monday. And if you need any other help or questions, feel free to reach out. Talk to you guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris.